I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. And we've been talking and having conversations about positive mindset and modeling a positive mindset for our children, because that's what my book is actually about. It's building self esteem in children through showing you the activities of the Happy Little Garbage Truck. And self esteem is feeling good about oneself. So we start with conducting ourselves in a way to create a positive environment and we model a positive mindset for our children. And that's why we're talking about time management. It seems to be a little bit off the topic, but when we were looking at having a conversation actually a couple of weeks ago about how successful people stay calm, one of these areas that helps us to stay calm is having control over our time. And when school starts, we know that we'd like to manage time in a better way, but in homeschooling, we're juggling a lot of balls with teaching our children and taking care of our household. Um, if you're working at home, doing your work at home as well. And so what we did was I have a couple of tools that I've used. One of them was from a mentor of mine who showed me this 6-part grid way of setting up my class schedule. And I thought it would work really well for setting up a home schedule. And each grid supposedly takes an hour, but with home teaching, we know it takes longer than that. So I set the 6-hour grid can be the whole day. So what we're doing is looking at several techniques. I first started with trying to find out what tasks we have to complete, and that's why we have this 6-part section, this paper section off into 6 parts, because the most important tasks are highlighted in each of the squares. And I took a meditation, homeschool, and meal preparation, something that these are things that you can't postpone because they will be needed every day. And then at the bottom, I put relaxation, exercise, and home office. So since we've identified the tasks that are to be accomplished in each of these grids, which was my second challenge to you, we also yesterday talked about the priorities. And what I did was I just highlighted a couple and the homeschool grid. And I would say that reading and spelling are kind of one topic. It's literature and what we call language art skills, because it has to do with manipulating the language that we're using, conversation, communication, writing letters, spelling words, just a number of things. So, but I would combine these together and would say half and half. 30% of the time in our mornings, we could actually do it in thirds. 30% reading, 30% spelling, and 30% math. So say like if your child has a attention span of about 20 to 30 minutes, then that would be your morning. And then you would spend the afternoon doing maybe social studies, movement, and then science and art. Just take that throughout the week, and depending on how your teacher has scheduled her activities. But if it's up to you, you can kind of break it down so that you can spend the full 90 minutes of the afternoon and 3 other activities. So you spend an hour and a half in education, and then you could set up another hour and a half in the later part of the day of activities that aren't as, they don't take as much brain power or energy, and it can be more fun. So like science can become a cooking lesson, social studies could be something that you're doing with communication skills with their friends, writing a letter, studying about your city. Take field trips and do that, and music and art, movement, same type of thing. So they could be more flexible. Then, after we've done that, it's time to schedule. And so I love this time management book by Julie Morgenstern. And she suggested that in scheduling some tasks, it's sometimes hard to know exactly how much time it takes. And if you have like 6 hours left over in the day that you have for the other activities, then you want to make sure that you schedule your planner accordingly. Say, like, I know it takes me about 15 minutes to make breakfast, 15, 20 minutes, 5 minutes to throw in a load in the washing machine. And I take 30 minutes in the beginning of the day for my meditation. But what we sometimes don't know about are what I call the time bandits. They're the tasks that we procrastinate on because we think going to take too long for the amount of time we actually have. So she suggested making a time estimation log. Put down the task, how much you think it's going to take, how much time you think it's going to take, and then the actual amount of time it took. And to do this 3 times before you actually make your time estimation of how much time that thing takes to do, for you to do. And that way you have a more accurate idea when you start scheduling, because all this has to do with scheduling. If you've run out of time, you don't want to beat yourself up that you didn't get to that one thing, but we want to be able to plan the important tasks and not avoid the important ones for the urgent ones. So that was a Steve Covey idea that I just really love, because it often happens. Things get derailed because you run out of time. So now I mentioned that we're going to set up our schedule, and I'll show how I do mine, and also one for our children. But we'll do that tomorrow, because I thought these were really important components to being able to schedule appropriately and accurately and efficiently. So we'll see you tomorrow. And I thank you so much for being with me today. And please share and also subscribe. Thank you.